Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we are having a look at another locomotive, and as you can see it's by Hornby. No prizes for guessing that, and you can probably tell from the picture, but this is a LNER class D16 in British Railways livery. And as you can see, it's a very early British Railways livery because it doesn't have neither the late crest nor the early emblem. It also doesn't have any lining, and it's also got a rather unusual BR number of E2524. There you can see British Railways 440 class D16/3 E2524. If we turn to the side, its product code is R3235. If we turn to the back, you see you get tons of information about the class. It is quite a extensive history, because there were so many. There were about 3 different types of engines that were later rebuilt into basically a single D16 type. So some of these started out as what were known as, or when they were built by the Great Eastern Railway. They were known as Claude Hamiltons, after the chairman of the Great Eastern Railway. And basically, the D16/3s came about from I'm just going to read here. It came about from about 1923 or so. Basically, the earlier versions, which were known as the D14s and the D15s by the LNER, originally known as the S46 and the D56s by the Great Eastern Railway, they later became D16s when they were rebuilt with slightly bigger boilers, and also they had a round top firebox. They were used mostly on London to Cambridge runs over the out of Liverpool Street, and basically the D14 and D15s, they all became known as D16/2s and /3s. The D16/3s were known as Super Claudes. The first of the class was named Claude Hamilton, after, as I said, one of the chairmen of the Great Eastern Railway. They began withdrawing these in 1945, but quite a few of them did survive into nationalisation. There were 121 of these built. All of them were built at Stratford Works, which is where the Great Eastern Railway's works were based. The last one was withdrawn in 1960, and sadly none of these have survived into preservation. This particular one, E2524, was built in 1902, and it became D16/3 sometime in the 1920s when the LNER took over. When nationalisation happened, its number was changed to E2524. Originally it was numbered 1873, and then after 1948 they renumbered it to 62524, and it was withdrawn in 1960. So yeah, but I do believe there are plans for a new build D16, but only time will tell. As you see, its power classification was 2P, which is not very powerful, but it's reasonable. It's okay for, you know, a local train or something. But anyway, let's put the box to one side. The locomotive is not in the box, but it just comes in the usual modern Hornby box, which we've come to know nowadays. If we put the box to one side, now bear in mind, when you get the locomotive, the tender and the engine are coupled together, but in this case I've separated them. So as you can see, you've got the wire there, and then the bar with a screw that goes into the tender. So we just put the loco to there, and here is the tender. So yeah, I've just split these for the purpose of this review because it's much easier to handle. You know, if I just want to look at the engine, then it's much easier to do so. But anyway, here is the engine. Wow. Wow. What can I say? Stunning. I mean, okay, for a start, the livery is very basic, but it is prototypical. It is prototypical. Obviously, a lot of people will say it's a very basic livery, but this is what it looked like after nationalisation. They couldn't repaint thousands of locomotives at once into the new British Railways livery. So yeah, I mean, some of them even remained with their pre-nationalisation liveries after nationalisation. So yeah, but honestly, it looks really, really smart. Just maybe not the livery. It looks quite good actually, but just the actual sort of shape of the locomotive, it looks really, really elegant. And as you can see, it's a 440, so you've got the 4 bogie wheels at the front, 4 driving wheels, and there's no set of trailing wheels at the back. It's just the 4 driving wheels, and then the front, and the 4 front bogie wheels. If we look at the front, you can see that it's typically Eastern. All this detail at the front I have added myself. You do get that in the detail pack. Although if you wish to fit a tension lock coupling, you can do so by means of the pocket in the bogie. Yep, the buffers are sprung, which is nice, although this one here is a bit stiff, so I might just put a bit of oil into it. The smokebox starts are separately fitted. You get handrails running along both sides of the model, and I love the way it sort of curves round the top, so it doesn't just come to an abrupt halt at the front of the smokebox. It actually curves around and then continues around the other side. You get a builder's plate there, which does appear to be legible, but I'm not going to attempt to look at it. But there's its number, E2524. You get the safety valves and the whistle, both of which are separately fitted. You also get the cab roof vent, which doesn't open and it doesn't close either, but that's absolutely fine. I'd rather have it open, to be honest, because it does get quite hot in there. But anyway, let's have a look at the cab, which probably is one of the strongest points on this model. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. You can clearly see in the middle the regulator. To the right you can see the reverser, and you get all the dials and the gauges as well, and all the little intricate pipework, and even the firebox door is visible just below. But honestly, that is a really, really nice cab. If we turn to the other side, you can see there are a couple of differences. One, you get this separately fitted bar. This is the reversing bar, which obviously connects into the valve gear, and you also get this brake pump here for the air brake system. What else do you get? The brake rods underneath, they do come in a detail pack, so I have fitted them. What else do you get? You also get this extra bit of piping here, which sort of goes way forward to the smoke box and then comes down. I'm not too sure what that is. You also get I do believe that's a lubricator just there. But yeah, overall, she is just a beautiful locomotive. Really, really smart. What else do you get? You also get all this pipework here at the bottom of the cab. These are the injectors, I believe. Yeah, the injectors. So that's the driver's side, and this is the fireman's side injector. As you can see, the engine is right-hand drive, which I do believe most Great Eastern engines were right-hand drive. But yeah, overall, the engine just looks really, really nice. Now what we're going to do, and I also want to mention, considering how small the engine itself is, I mean, look at it, it pretty much fits in the palm of my hand. It really isn't a big loco. Considering that, it's really, really heavy. It's not very heavy, but it does have quite a lot of weight to it. From what I can see, the boiler is die-cast. You also get quite a big die-cast chassis. From what I can also see, most of the weight seems to be over the driving wheels, which is absolutely fine. Oh, I'm just even noticing even the cab sign, even the cab appears to be metal as well. That's a really nice touch. But yeah, it's surprisingly heavy for such a small locomotive. But anyway, let's put the engine down rather, and let's put that. So, oh gosh. Alright, here we go. Yep. And let's have a look at the tender, which is just as nice. Albeit it's far less heavier. The decoder does go in the tender, hence the need for the wire connecting the two together. But yeah, the tender, it's very small. I mean, look at that. it's a tiny tender, but that alliterates. But as you can see, it says British Railways on the side. And as I mentioned, this is a very early version of the BR livery. The coal, I'm not too sure. I don't think that's removable, but the coal does look quite nice. So I don't intend to remove it at all. You get the water scoop just underneath. And also the brake rods here I've added myself. You get sprung buffers on the back, tension lock coupling. Yeah, and you even get 2 water filler caps just there. And then get the handbrake at the front. Yeah, but there's not much to talk about it because it's quite a it's a well detailed tender, but it's very small. There's not a lot to talk about it, to be honest. But yeah. But all in all, I'm really impressed with this engine. Now, I'm not going to join them just yet. I'll join them for when we obviously have a look at it running. But all in all, let me just try and put the two together. Yep, there you go. All in all, it's just a really nice engine, and a bargain price as well. If you'd like one of these for a bargain price, go to Hatton's. They've currently got their sale of the century on, and these are at a very discounted price. And even in all liveries, pretty much BR black with early emblem, late crest. This version of the BR black, and even LNER black. But yeah, it's at a bargain price at Hatton's at the moment. So if you do want one of these, go there. You will not be disappointed. However, we'll see whether the running doesn't disappoint me. Let's see her run. So here we have the Hornby D16 on the track, and wow, it does look really elegant. But anyway, let's select her number, which is number 30 in my case, and off she goes. Wow, so I've just set the controller to halfway speed and it's actually going quite fast. It's pretty fast for such a little model. Wow. Well, let's get a few shots of her passing. So yeah, as you can see, she's running really well. Wow. This is also very smooth as well. There's no jolts. It's also not making that much noise. Yeah. Really nice. Very impressed. So just in conclusion, I highly recommend this model. As I say, Hutton's have got these discounted until the 31st of December, which is when the sale of the Century ends. But if you can get one of these, then go for it, because it's just an absolutely amazing little model, and for a price which is, well, very much unbeatable, especially in Hutton's. But yeah, really nice model. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in the next review. Goodbye.